Hi, good to see you. This is Perry Kinney, hair coach. I get asked quite often about hair color as well as perming, hair chemistry, things like that. You have to excuse me, I've got a lapel mic on order, but not on order, the adapter on order. It just hasn't come yet. So hopefully that'll happen and then we can get rid of this little gizmo here. But anyway, so the question I get asked a lot is, how come it is that when I have colored my hair with a certain brown or had my hairdresser change the color of a certain brown, medium brown, new color, they don't all look the same? Why do they all look different? And that's a really valid question. In order to understand that, you have to understand that from one company to another, the base levels are not universal. They're not, the medium brown over here isn't the same as the medium brown over there in any line at all. That's why it's important once you find one you really like that you stick with it, that you stay in that category. So as an example, a person could be using a medium brown in any brand, Clairol, Wella, any brand, be it from the drugstore or be it from the grocery store or be it from the salon, your favorite hair colorist. And if you switch it or change it, it's going to give you a different end result, even though they all say medium brown. So let's say, for instance, you and I decide we're going to start our own color company, okay? Chances are we're going to start right dab in the middle. We're going to start with the darker, not darker, but the medium brown colors. Medium brown, dark brown, light brown, dark blonde, like that. That's where we're going to start. And from there, we're going to take the key chemical ingredients and we're going to customize our color to make our color a little bit different from the neighbor's color so that we can basically have something that's going to attract some positive attention. So then what we do is we develop that line from there, and then we deepen it one direction and we lighten it another direction. So black would have a full concentration or of deposit, or one part of lift to 10 parts of deposit, whereas blonde, we'll call it level 10. Blonde will have one part of deposit to 10 parts of lift or change. And everything in between is basically going to be customized by you and I, and we're going to make our color stand out. We might add a little bit of blue to make an ash brown or a cool brown, or our base color might be just a neutral brown with just a little bit of blue in it or a little bit of green in it to make it just a little bit cooler, or to stand off from our neighbors, be a little bit different. Maybe it has a little extra dye load. See, but they're all going to be different. And if we were doing a color line, we do it the same exact way. So what can you do about that? Once you find a really good hair colorist, stick with them. That's one thing you can do. That'll make a big, big, big difference, and it'll mitigate the majority of any issues you might have. But in addition to that, something you can do if you're coloring your hair at home is when you find a color line that you like, stick with it. Now that doesn't mean, oh, well, you know, I'm using Wella and Wella has 800 different colors. Or for instance, oh, here's a good one, L'Oreal. You go to the store, you see L'Oreal products all over the place. And so you think, well, it's all the same thing. There's a brown there in L'Oreal, and that one's L'Oreal, and that one's L'Oreal, and they're all browns. But that doesn't mean that they're necessarily the same kind of brown or the same exact tonal brown, or even really the same level of brown. So once you find the color you like, if you stick with it, it's going to make a big, big difference. Let me give you a little bit of a side tip too in terms of getting more consistent color each and every time. On the box of any color, or when any professional hairdresser starts working with it, they're going to find things that encourage them to do the color, permanent color, and then go ahead and work it through for so many minutes, or to apply a new batch of it and work it through. Here's the problem I have with that. I never do that. And here's the reason why, is because the permanent color is a mixture of an alkaline and an acid, typically ammonia and peroxide. And you need that for lift and deposit. But if I'm doing a retouch color, now I might do that the first time to get the color I want. But if I'm doing a retouch color, I'm not going to do that again. I'm going to use a completely different kind of a color, one that doesn't have ammonia in it or MEA in it, or it's very, very, very gentle by comparison, so that I'm protecting the hair that's already been colored. I don't increase its porosity. And that's very, very important because I want that color to stay rich and shiny. Have you ever noticed or ever had that experience where it was not really, it was really rich and shiny when you started, but as time went on, it lost it? That would be why. Or if you've ever seen anybody whose hair was brown on the scalp, the first couple of inches brown, but the ends were like darker, almost black, that's why. If you're always working that color through, you're always exposing that hair to that kind of chemical reaction. And that's not really the best way to go about it. We'll discuss some suggestions for that later on. But the thing you want to remember is basically what I've said here. Don't change the color, and protect that hair as best you can. Don't be working it through all the time. In fact, the second kind of color that you might begin to use is basically a deposit-only color, if at all possible, a deposit-only color. Something else to take in consideration. Anytime you're working with a color that says it's ash, it's cooler, you want to pretty much expect that's going to look one level darker than what you're anticipating. That's absolutely the case. So that will help you to be aware of that. Is that if you use that kind of a color, what you want to do is use the one you want at the scalp, because we're talking retouch, not first time color. You want to use the one that you like at the scalp, okay? And then to the cold shaft and ends, you want to use a lighter version of it. And that way you're going to get a more consistent end result. Now, some hairdressers are going to take issue with me for sharing this kind of information with everybody, but the truth of the matter is the greatest majority of hair color is done at home. So where do hairdressers come in? I've been doing hair for 42 years. Where do we come in? I fix that kind of thing. Whenever it goes wrong, I fix it, and I teach people how to take better care of their hair and how to maintain their hair. So, I hope you have found these things to be helpful. If you've seen some value in what this discussion has been about, please like, share, even follow this channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Tell your friends about it, and let me know what you think in the comment section below, because I really want to know whether or not if this channel is going in the right direction or not. And the only way for me to know that is for you to let me know. I appreciate your time very much, and until next time, we'll see you later. Bye now.